Tonight on the Atletifo Wrestling Podcast, Dave shows off his listening skills.
Sorry. Did you say De Bruyne on purpose?
No, I just said Brian.
Matt talks about John Cena.
I liked a tweet saying that he should be fired for being an awful person.
And Hamish tells us a story from his childhood and WWE.
After getting absolutely molested by Cody Rhodes 3 times in a row.
Hope you guys enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's special WrestleMania edition of the Atletifo Podcast. I am Tayab Khan, and I am still joined by my two good friends, Hamish Woodward and Matt Williams. How are you two doing today?
Dropping the surnames in, I see.
Of course, gotta do it. I mean, this is our brand now.
But you're
That's who we are.
omitting the middle names, I noticed this time, which I feel very upset about.
I used my middle name.
Yeah, but you omitted your first
Yeah.
name.
I did. I'm always keeping the audience guessing. They're trying to dox us as much as they want. I feel like they're all out there. That's why there's not so many listeners at this point. They're just kind of looking for more information so they can just dive in. So I think that's what we should give the audience.
So, they're trying to dox us. Let's give them our full names.
Exactly. Because, right, the whole point of doxing is how hard it is. If we make it easy, then that just ruins the fun.
Postcode reveal at 20 subscribers, do you reckon?
Oh man, it's a hell of a week. It's a hell of a week because this week
£5
is
on Patreon.
WrestleMania, boys. What are you saying?
They're £5 on Patreon to get my last four pin numbers.
Oh, exactly. £10 on OnlyFans to get my mother's maiden name. But anyways, disregarding all that stuff, we're talking about the real important shit in life, that being WrestleMania, mother truckers. This Sunday, we're going to see so many good matches, hopefully, and it's not crap, which it shouldn't be, by WWE in their biggest event of the year. So, for this special edition, we're going to be going through a little bit of a trip down memory lane on some of our best, most favourite Mania moments and least favourite, and all about that. So tell me, gentlemen, Matt, let's start with you. What do you reckon is your favourite Mania moment that you've experienced?
Favourite Mania moment? So I'm only going to be... I'll just put this out there. I'm only including Manias that I've seen either live or within like a couple of days of them happening. So, you know, as good as WrestleMania 17 is and 23, I didn't get to watch them live. So my favourite Mania moment that I've seen live would be, I think, the end of WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan won finally was able to win the WWE title after months of near misses and just screw jobs, and it was just the culmination of what was a really brilliant storyline, but also really frustrating storyline as well.
It was incredible, wasn't it? That was basically like when Batista won the Rumble instead of Daniel Bryan, right?
Yeah.
So talk a bit about that lead up and what you mean by the frustration and stuff.
So it really began back in SummerSlam, which was in August 2013. So Bryan was handpicked by the champion at the time, John Cena.
Sorry. Did you say De Bruyne on purpose?
No, I just said Bryan.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then again, okay. So Bryan was handpicked by Cena to be his opponent at SummerSlam, and Bryan was able to actually beat Cena clean.
Amazing match.
Only for Randy Orton to cash in after Triple H heel turn on Bryan, and bear in mind that's August 2013, and Mania 30 was the first few days of April 2014. So it was a good 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Of Bryan coming close but getting screwed over. I particularly remember watching the pay-per-view just before Mania, which was Elimination Chamber, where Bryan, if I remember rightly, Bryan was screwed over by Kane, which no one wanted to see that. You know, of all the people to screw you over, corporate Kane, come on.
Especially Kane when he's really old and you can clearly tell he's not in it anymore.
Corporate Kane was the worst Kane.
Oh, Kane.
But
he did have some funny lines, but yeah.
So yeah, that then led to obviously Mania. It was the Yes movement where Bryan and all of his 99% of the crowd that was supporting him were in the ring, and he finally was able to force his way into the main event by beating Triple H in the opener, which was, I would say, match of the night. his match with Triple H. Don't know what you
Yeah,
guys
that
think.
was such a good match.
I think
It was an amazing. Yeah, sorry, we should go.
I think the match Triple H was amazing. Best match of the night. I think the storyline being amazing is it's amazing in hindsight. At the time, the storyline was absolutely horrific. It started off with him beating John Cena. Great. Debuts the running knee, which should have been called the solid knee plus. I think everyone can agree.
Yes, love it.
And then Randy Orton cashes in. Oh, that's fine. Build a story of Randy Orton. He can beat Orton, become a big star. And then he keeps beating Randy Orton, but then they kept reversing the decision the next night on Raw. He beat him at Night of Champions or whatever. And then that crooked ref, Scott Stanford, did a fast count, so Bryan lost the title. And the same thing happened the next pay-per-view, and the next one they did a Hell in a Cell match. The next one, the Big Show interfered, punched them both in the face, and then stole the yes chant from Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, he did that.
It's a real kick in the teeth.
Oh my god.
They tried to go, if Big Show just starts doing it, will they just forget about Daniel Bryan? Is that going to work? It didn't work.
And as it turned out, no.
Because most people can tell the difference between the tiny man Daniel Bryan and a Big Show.
Exactly.
Star of
One
the
man
Big Show
is like,
show.
one of the best wrestlers ever. The other has his own hit TV show on Netflix.
Total Bellas.
Exactly. But yeah, I think WrestleMania 30 is probably an answer that we'd all say, to be honest. It was such a phenomenal time. And that was like when I first started getting back into wrestling, I believe. Like after watching it as I was a kid and I was getting back to it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Is this what every WrestleMania was like? And then I got introduced to Roman Reigns and I was like, eh. But, I think that's probably one of the best Manias ever, if not probably the best finish, because in research for this podcast, I did do like a deep dive into like every single WrestleMania main event. Like I read an article online and, I can't remember the name of it sadly, but it was very interesting insight onto every single main event. It had like a little summary, and it had like Daniel Bryan winning it at the top because both he had two matches which were insane. The build-up was insane, and even the matter of how he won was he was submitting someone. He wasn't pinning anyone; he was submitting them, which was like one of 4 times in WrestleMania history where it was ending in a submission, right? And this was during a period of time where like even nowadays you don't see many submissions, do you, on the main roster with the boom?
Can we guess?
And at that time.
Can we guess the 4 times it happened? Do you remember them?
Sure, I don't think I can remember it well, but sure.
I think one of them was WrestleMania 23, Shawn Michaels, John Cena.
One was Benoit in 20, wasn't it?
Yes, Benoit in 20.
Yes.
I think John Cena tapped out Triple H 22 as well.
Yeah. But to be fair, I wasn't counting Benoit then.
Why not?
I didn't think that we'd go there, but that's fine.
We can mention him.
I should have counted him, to be fair. My bad. But I guess what is that? Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Benoit, Daniel Bryan, and there's one more you're missing actually.
Oh, let's have a think. Becky Lynch pinned thingy. Roman Reigns has he got a submission?
Was it Bret Hart and Steve Austin?
That wasn't the main event. The main event of that was Undertaker, Psycho Sid, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Would it have been... Oh, Bret Hart against Yokozuna, WrestleMania 10?
Technically wasn't the main event of that, the Hogan match after.
That wasn't the main event though, what are you on about? That wasn't the most important part.
That was WrestleMania. WrestleMania 9 was Hogan. They redid it WrestleMania 10 without Hogan, I believe.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Sorry, I am just looking it up. I do not want to spread more misinformation, but I believe it might be Edge versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, Hell's Gate.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Hell's Gate.
Yes.
WrestleMania 24.
You see, yep.
That was my first ever WrestleMania, and it was a really good one actually.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Really good one. But back to WrestleMania 30, I think up and down the card, it was the last great one where you can see for the whole. It's a 3-hour show, a tight show. You can watch it all. Every match is like, apart from the women's match, but that was the Divas era.
Mm-hmm.
All the matches are really fun to watch. They're all different matches. You got Daniel Bryan,
they are definitely.
Daniel Bryan, Triple H, and you got the Andre Battle Royal. Cesaro wins when he body slams Big Show out the ring.
Yeah,
Then
that's good.
Yeah, no, that was fucking awesome. To be fair.
And you got the Shield squashing the New Age Outlaws and Kane, which everyone wanted to see those three team together. At
Oh, that
WrestleMania.
was sick. That was sick as well. I was actually thinking the Shield was on that show. I remember, and they just destroyed him. It was really nice.
And of course,
And-
Brock Lesnar broke the streak as well. That was another thing I forgot.
Oh yeah.
That small.
But the
detail,
match
isn't
that
it?
one wasn't very good.
No.
Like we were discussing earlier, but it's yeah, I mean, like, you know, it was a really solid Mania, and then they had kind of a downturn until recently when WWE have had quite a lot of good Mania moments. Because in preparation for this podcast, I have been doing quite a lot of not deep dive, just reminiscing about what the fuck, I can't even words today. I've just been watching the recent WrestleMania main events and stuff, and you know, there's some kick-ass ones like Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold, man. What the hell's that about?
That was so
And-
good.
It was actually really fucking good. It was much better than I anticipated. Like, I didn't think that it would be like the KO show, and then it's starting off, and then Stone Cold actually
Yeah.
shows up,
The pop
and then he
was
starts
amazing.
chatting shit. Yeah, no, 100%. And then, like, they actually fought, and it was Stone Cold gets fucking suplexed on concrete. And it's quite cool, because you can watch, like, Stone Cold before he gets suplexed, he's kind of, like, a bit apprehensive.
Hmm.
Like, you know, taking punches and stuff like that. But as soon as he gets hit on the concrete, he just becomes the same guy. It's
Yeah.
so fun to watch, like... It's so cool
That was
that he actually...
That was a really good
What are you
Mania,
saying,
other than the Bray versus the Fiend versus Orton match is absolutely horrific. It's one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Just
Wow.
so stupid.
I'm going to shock you there, Matt. I remember watching that live and thinking, hadn't watched it for a while, and I thought, wow, this Fiend is the coolest guy, and this is amazing. I love the Fiend.
Did you know that the
So-
Fiend was Bray Wyatt?
Someone had to enjoy it. I
Yeah,
suppose.
I knew of it. I've seen like bits and pieces, but I watched it and was like, this is amazing. Why is Alexa Bliss in a, as Michael Cole called it, a box-like structure? not a box, a box-like
Oh
structure.
Oh
my!
my.
And then
Did you have
Alexa-
goosebumps at any point?
He was all goosebumps when Alexa Bliss started vomiting squid ink. I was like,
Yeah, that
what
was
is
weird.
going on? This is amazing. And then Randy Orton he beat this unbeatable monster with one RKO after setting him on fire.
Of course, man. Sometimes you gotta have that sort of spectacle in wrestling.
That-
Setting
that-
people on fire,
actually,
apparently.
that's my favourite WrestleMania moment, is the Fiend against Randy Orton.
Oh, man.
No, it's not.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
Unless you're like a massive box-like structure enthusiast, there's no way that's true.
He just loves structures. But he likes every form.
Of the box-like
But
kind.
yeah.
But I hate
Apparently
boxes.
so.
I
Yeah,
hate
man.
boxes.
But speaking of, like, you know, manias and stuff, and recent ones, I was basically going through, like, the pandemic one. And it had, like, so the pandemic had some crazy fucking moments regarding wrestling. That the fact that they kind of did it with the virtual crowd really made it suck, to be honest. I'm going to say it. There were some good matches, like the Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso I Quit match. But in general, like, pandemic wrestling wasn't it. Apart from the Boneyard match, which was a WrestleMania main event, which I watched recently, is the goofiest fucking thing I've seen in my life, and I say that with pure love, because it was amazing, right? Like, having The Undertaker's retirement be a recorded segment is actually genius, I think. I think it was so fun to watch. It was just AJ Styles being a cocky motherfucker, but also just, like, being so pathetic when he's like, being like, don't bury me, please. I'm sorry, Dad. Stuff like that.
I thought it was a really clever move, as you say, to have the match be pre-recorded, because as we'd seen from the previous few years of Taker Mania matches, he can't do it anymore. But
Yeah.
in that, it worked, and it was fun and different, and also they utilised the fact that they were able to do that in the pandemic era. I think WWE did a pretty good job, actually, given how damaging the pandemic era was for them. I think they did a pretty good job.
Oh, of
with
course. Oh, of course. I don't want to... Let me just say, I don't want to blame WWE for that, just mainly because, like, obviously no one can fucking predict the pandemic.
Yeah.
And, like, to work around that is very impressive. It's just, you know, like, I was watching the Edge Royal Rumble where he stayed at 1 and then he, like, ended at 20. So he won it, obviously. I think it was 2020. And, you know, obviously the pop wasn't there and, like, it wasn't as big of a moment as it could have been because of the pandemic. But that's why I say it didn't hit as much. But fair play to WWE for trying and, like, you know, having still good moments like that.
On the topic of
But yeah.
pandemic, did you see the Money in the Bank match they did in the pandemic?
I did
was,
not.
That was really good. The match
So
took
weird.
place. It was in WWE headquarters. The match.
What, really?
They started at the lobby, in like a gym, I think it was, and
Right.
and the Money in the Bank is on the roof. So they're fighting up.
That
onto
is
the roof.
amazing.
And like Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles go into like Vince's office, and Vince is there, and they're like, "Oh, sorry," pushing the chairs in, and going like, "You're a little bitch." You said sorry. It's really
Wait, so
funny.
it's like a fucking match going throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
And the best part though is the women's match is happening at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
So all these two matches are happening at the same time in the WWE building. They're fighting. It's like a video game, fight from the bottom to the top.
Like the
Wait,
Yakuza
so-
games, you know when Kiryu goes into a building, you got to go up all the floors and beat up people. It's like that. Only,
No, that sounds...
only when you get to the top, you got to climb a ladder and grab a briefcase. And there was a bit where
But there's still a ladder up there. That's amazing.
and there was,
But
I think, was it Baron Corbin that threw? Baron Corbin basically murdered Rey Mysterio because he threw him off the roof, and you never
Yeah.
saw him
Oh,
land.
I was just going to
So that was
ask,
funny.
like... I was just going to point out, because I remember watching the Boneyard match, there's a point where, like, Taker punches Luke Gallows and he just falls off the roof, and then he punches Carl Anderson, but later on he burns the roof, and it's like...
He burns them
we,
alive.
didn't,
Yeah.
we didn't see Carl Anderson leave, did we?
Do you know what's funny, Tayab? They were
Yeah.
released about 2 weeks later, so like in cave, he did murder them.
I'm just... So, can I just ask, obviously I wasn't watching at the time, does AJ Styles refer to the fact that he was buried alive by The Undertaker afterwards, or was it just like, yeah, no, I just kind of dug
He
my way
came
out?
back like a month later, I think, and was just like, "Yeah, that happened. Deal with it."
How wacky was that?
Whoa! I
man.
got goosebumps.
Oh man, fucking pandemic era. I'm happy that they did that. And in the research and stuff, I think what I want to watch is the Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks match, because that sounds pretty cool
That was really
to have
good.
like women main eventing WrestleMania and
It's
stuff.
my favourite women's match ever, I think.
Fair. I mean,
Um,
Bianca Belair's
so
fucking
good.
sick, to be fair. I think she's such a good wrestler, and so is Sasha Banks. So I should make time to do that.
Sasha has probably, I would say, of my top 3 women's matches of all time, 2 of them have got Sasha in. No, all 3.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have Sasha in.
What are all three?
Her match with Bailey in NXT.
That was a really good one, yeah.
And there's another. I think
Matt
it might have been.
desperately trying to think of 3 women's matches he's ever watched.
No, it's. She had 2 matches
some
actually with Bailey. It was both of those, and also, I think the match with Bianca Belair is my favourite women's match. And she had another
Yeah.
amazing match the year later against Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Who, Bianca Belair?
yeah,
or,
she did. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
I think I need to catch up on that, to be fair.
definitely do that. I feel like her match this year, which we'll get into later, I think that's gonna, if it's given the time it needs, I think that could be a real top match as well.
But sometimes matches are not given the time they need and it ends up shit. It's just like WrestleMania sometimes. So, boys, why don't we talked about our favourite Mania moments for quite some time. Can we talk about, even starting from the beginning maybe, your least favourite Mania moments? Or ones that are just so absurd that you just can't believe they happened?
Oh, I think,
You know,
well,
let
I
me
like,
just...
I like the absurd ones.
Sorry,
though.
you go.
I love the absurd ones. Even like Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9 coming out and just
Yeah.
Bret Hart loses because I think he got sand thrown in his eyes by Mr. Fuji,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had some magical Japanese dust thrown into his eyes.
and then he lost to Yokozuna, who was a big fat Samoan man pretending to be Japanese. And
What?
then-
Pretending?
yeah, he's
Nah,
Samoan.
you didn't just say that.
Immersion ruined.
And then Hulk Hogan, I think he teamed with Brutus the Barber Beefcake earlier in the night, and they lost in the tag team title match by I think DQ or count out, because Hogan doesn't lay down for anyone, brother. And then he just came out and went, you know what, I'm going to win the WWF title, and then he just beat Yokozuna in like 2 minutes, and then just left Bret Hart looking like a little bitch outside.
Well, what a great moment. To be honest, I mean, like, what did Bret Hart think? He was in the main event, but was he the main event? No, that's always going to be our boy, the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan.
We endorse everything
I will-
Hulk Hogan's ever said.
Oh no.
everything.
Oh dear God, no. We've had a good run.
We're now a Bubble the Love
Oh.
Sponge fan podcast.
Exactly. Atletifo.
No,
I will
shit,
write
no!
a song for us one day. Oh man, I would say one of my least favorite moments was during 2016 era, where Roman Reigns was basically being shoved down our throat. We didn't get Tribal Chief yet. We just had like this guy who was clearly not good at being a babyface,
Yeah.
with everyone else sort of being like, "Hey, look how great this guy is," you know. Like Danny Bryan even came out and said, "You're the real champion, Roman," after beating him.
That
at
was the worst
Roman
one.
beat him at Fastlane. Fastlane, which is the worst pay-per-view WWE have ever had. I will not take any questions. But
yeah, that
it
Fastlane
was-
absolutely stank. It was
It was
awful.
awful.
So bad. Yeah, that.
Oh man.
So for context for the listeners, the three of us, the only pay-per-view we've ever watched prior to Clash at the Castle, the pay-per-view we've ever watched together live was WrestleMania 32. And I think that's partly why we didn't do one for about 6 years, because it was so bad.
WrestleMania, yeah, WrestleMania 32.
That was... I mean, luckily, we came up with a drinking game that allowed us to forget about most of that show. But looking
Yeah.
back at it, that was
Oh,
one
yes.
hell of a bad show. Triple H
It was
versus
quite bad.
Triple H versus Roman Reigns in the main event. No one wanted that. And not only did no one want it, but it went on for so long as well. It was so
yeah.
boring.
Oh yeah. That was so boring because like Reigns just won in the end. It was so shit.
He was so
I
obviously
remember
gonna
that
win.
Mania because one time there's like I was really in the bathroom for a long time and I went in and I came out and Matt was over here and he was like Brappldo. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because Cena's back. I was like, oh my god.
I remember at one point, so I think Cena and The Rock came back. We were like, "This is the best WrestleMania ever." The next morning, we were like,
We were.
"That was
We
shit.
were.
What are we on about? That was dreadful."
It was such a like in the moment type thing because that's how it feels when people come back. They're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" And then you think to yourself, "Why the fuck are you here?" Like that's what I feel about The Rock anyway, right? That was a really weird WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania 33 I didn't watch, and a lot of them I didn't watch actually until I sort of started catching up from WrestleMania 36, and then then it became good again with Roman Reigns becoming the tribal chief, not even the big dog.
So,
And then making the product again good again.
so when you think
Yeah,
of WrestleMania, like one of the first things you think of is the Undertaker's streak, and then obviously subsequent matches after. But what would you guys say is the last great Undertaker WrestleMania match?
I think it has to be the CM Punk match at WrestleMania 29.
Yeah. I would say that
Yeah.
was a really, really good one.
I wasn't big on the Triple H matches. I thought they were a bit self-indulgent and masturbatory.
Mm-hmm.
But then the CM Punk match was a CM Punk on absolute top form. He carried Undertaker in that match completely.
Definitely.
He's not got.
That's a
WrestleMania
really,
event.
really good match, actually.
I watched it yesterday. It was just CM Punk is just working so hard just to get the best out of Undertaker because he clearly still can't go.
And he did a sensational job in the build to that show as well.
Or when he made fun
Yeah,
of Paul
he
Bearer
really
dying.
did.
Do you remember that clip of him juggling
Paul
Paul
Bearer's
Bearer's
Urn, innit?
urn, and he drops it and he goes, "Oh shit!"
It's
So good. Yeah, I
Like,
was thinking about Undertaker's WrestleMania matches, and the last good one, not including the Boneyard because obviously it was pre-recorded. The last
Mhm.
good one he had, I say good, the last half decent one he had was against Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 32, which is really hard to even put into words. But
He faced Shane McMahon?
we
How do
watched
I
it.
forget this?
It's a Hell in the
I
Cell.
know.
Remember, he didn't Shane jumped off the top of the cell, or got thrown off.
But you could just say that about anything Shane does.
Yeah, that's true.
Thing is,
That was
I
the last-
remember
Really? Did they fight each other?
in
Yeah.
the Hell in a Cell at
Fine.
WrestleMania. I remember we
Yeah.
watched it live. Yeah, I can remember. I can't remember a thing about it apart from I think he jumped off the top, and I think it was a choke slam onto a steel steps, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Something like that, yeah.
But I don't
probably.
recall it being
Sounds
good. Nothing about it screamed good to me. I'll be honest.
Nothing about WrestleMania 32 was good, to be fair.
Apart from Zack Ryder.
Oh yeah.
Zack Ryder winning
Zack
the
Ry-
winning the IC title in the ladder match. That was
and
the
then
highlight.
losing it the next night. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he lost the Miz the next night. Such bullshit.
That's what you get for trying to get yourself over, cunt. But yeah, that's,
I think that's the first
Um,
C-bomb we've dropped on the.
I'm glad that I was the first one to do it.
In fact, no, you dropped one on your debut episode within about 5 minutes.
And the first person to say motherfucker too.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We are a PG podcast.
Me-
if anyone can ask, okay.
Me and Matt are for the kids, and Teab is trying to fight it completely. I want that Toys R Us sponsor. That's what I'm going for.
Oh man. So about the classic ones, I think some of the good WrestleMania matches I've watched is obviously Rock versus Stone Cold. Those are like obviously really good for the time and stuff. Oh, I say for the time, it was like the peak of wrestling. I was just kind of fucking kick ass, not gonna lie. Just seeing like two guys who don't have like 1,000 moves, just kind of beating the crap out of each other using sort of wrestling as a, you know how you move your characters and stuff, like how Roman Reigns wrestles in a way. Like they just knew when to hit each other, how to like draw heat, when to change the flow of the battle and stuff like that. It's just great. Just watching the two greatest people to do it, both in 17 and 19, I believe. I can't pick which one I prefer.
They did 15 as well.
If we talk about classics,
Yeah, 15 was.
But
15
But
was.
I think the best WrestleMania match ever is the Rock. Is the Rock against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18. If you turn
that's a really good one.
if you turn the sound off, it's crap. But it's the way they both like react to the crowd and make the match work with the way the crowd's going. Like they know when to like calm it down and then to explode to get the crowd going. Holy fuck!
Oh, 100%. I've never been more hyped for a fucking leg drop than watching that match.
And
Like, there was just one moment where, like, this heel Hulk Hogan turns back the clock, and then he becomes, like, the fucking Hulkamania American hero yet again. And you think to yourself, is he gonna lose? But yeah, it's fantastic, you're right.
then it's
That's a
also
good
got
shout,
the. I
actually.
think it's got the greatest commentary line of all time. It's when he hits
Which
the
is?
leg drop and pins him, and Jim Ross just screams, "He beat Andre the Giant with that move!" And then Rock kicks out.
Yeah.
You're like, that is a good line to use just as the Rock kicks out.
Oh, 100%. That's badass. That's almost as good as he's... I can't even say it. I was gonna say I got goosebumps, but yeah.
It's almost as good as I had a dream you died.
Fucking Booker T, man. What the hell? Why did he say that?
JBL said that, right?
JB,
Surely it's JBL.
No,
said
no,
that.
no, no. But Booker T said that to Michael Cole.
Really?
I think JBL.
Yeah,
had,
yeah,
like,
it was him.
JBL
His
had
Cole.
quite
You know, I had a
similar
dream you
one.
died.
Oh no, have you seen the
Just
one?
like-
There's one where Jerry Lawler gets like attacked, and Michael Cole and Booker T are on
Yes.
commentary, and they're like, Michael Cole's saying, and Jerry Lawler's been taken to a local medical facility, and is currently suffering with anal bleeding. And Booker T just goes, "What?" and looks at him.
That's my all-time favourite commentary moment. I think you can see in their faces. Michael Cole doesn't want to say it, but Vince is in his ear like, it'd be really funny if you say he's got anal bleeding. And as soon as he says
Oh
it,
my god.
Booker T just goes, "What?"
You know, there's one moment.
And then Jim Ross, you can see Jim Ross is like, "I'm so done. I need to go. I need to leave."
That Booker T impression was so good. Fair play to that. Oh my god. I think my favourite commentary moment wasn't even from like a Mania or anything. There was one time where Raw was in London and then the feed got leaked and then you could basically hear Michael Cole in between like the ad breaks and stuff. And there's one point where like he's sort of shilling the WWE network. I think it was that. It's probably something else.
Oh,
And you
I
can just hear
remember,
Michael Cole say, "I've already said it a shitload of times." And then he's like, "Okay, sir, sorry, sir." And you can just tell, like, because before I was like, he's just being annoying. But then after that, I gained a bit of respect. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. There's a guy just screaming in your ear all the fucking time. Of course, you're gonna be like, you know, saying it all the time.
There was
Fair
a really good commentary line in AEW near the beginning. They had there's these things called dipping dots in America, like little donuts or something. And there was
Mhm.
it was like a dipping dot match, like a sponsored match. And someone went through the table covering them, and Jim Ross just screamed, "Not the damn dipping dots!"
I love Jim Ross so much. He's my favourite commentator of all time.
He's pretty
It's
great,
not
to be
even
fair.
close.
Have you heard
His
him,
commentary at the end of Mania 17 as well. The
Mhm.
when he says in like, "Stone Cold sold his soul to the devil himself," and like, oh my god, it's just the best.
That is, I love it when they go like so dramatic like that because that's exactly what wrestling needs
And
sometimes.
he was so good at that point at like getting really obviously pissed off with wrestlers.
Mhm,
Like
yeah.
Triple H, and he's like, "You goddamn son of a bitch," and I was like, this is amazing. This has added so much to the match for me.
Oh, definitely. He's the best commentator ever.
Mm.
I'd say.
Have you heard him selling Skittles?
Sorry.
I think I have. Yeah.
When WWE was sponsored by Skittles for a time,
Oh
and
right.
they go, well, sponsored by Skittles, fruity, fruity, fruity Skittles, Skittles, fruity Skittles.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
That's a lot better than
So
Michael
good.
Cole's Progressive Insurance line.
What was that?
He just says sponsored by Progressive Insurance and then some bullshit tagline that no one cares about. But he says it all the time, like at the start of every single SmackDown.
Oh, speaking of hilarious commentary lines, do you remember the one about it was when Neville was going for King of the Ring? And they were talking about previous. Neville was like the man Gravity forgot. Talking about
Oh, yeah,
previous
yeah,
King of
yeah.
the Rings, and then I think Booker T went, or JBL said, "Well, Gravity didn't forget Owen Hart."
Oh god, yeah.
And then it was just absolute silence. Like I didn't mean it that way.
What does he even mean?
I remember that. I remember that because I was like, because basically it was basically Owen Hart was like quite aerial. He was quite an aerial wrestler, wasn't he?
Yeah. But they would say that Neville was just better, so Gravity forgot Neville but didn't forget Owen Hart, but just because Owen Hart was King of the Ring as well. But then Jesus
Oh
Christ,
no!
I'll bring JBL back.
He's such a joker, isn't he?
what
Do you know,
a joke!
he blocks me on Twitter, JBL.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he blocked me a while ago. I think it was back when all the stuff was coming about him being a massive bully and just being an absolute arsehole.
Yeah.
And I liked a tweet saying that he should be fired for being an awful person. And he went through every single person that liked that tweet and just blocked them all.
Damn.
So I've never even said anything to him. I've never atted him or anything. But
The
yeah,
hell?
he blocked me for that. So that was quite funny.
I'll ask him after this show.
Thank you.
To like unblock you. I'll be like, hey JBL, John Cena follows me. Do you mind unblocking Matt for me?
Then I'll
I'm not even
challenge
gonna
him
say
to a
like
match in Saudi Arabia, and then he'll be okay.
Is he allowed in Saudi Arabia? Oh, he probably is.
Yeah, he's a rich white man. He'll be fine.
Oh, of course. It's the most oppressed people ever. But you know what? We're not going to turn this podcast into that. We're going to talk about some more WrestleMania stuff. Mainly what's coming up on Sunday, because all of us have made a couple predictions, haven't we?
We have indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So Matt over here is going to go through it because me and Hamish sent him our predictions, but I don't believe we've told each other. So let's go through the card. Let's see what we all have in store. Matt, do you want to lead us off?
Yeah. So there's 13 matches on the card. So I've done them in the order that they appear on the reputable source Wikipedia. So shout out to Wikipedia.
Shout out.
Yeah, there you go. They'll appreciate that.
Ah, thank you, Wikipedia.
So we'll kick things off with the United States Championship match, and that is John Cena returning for what I believe is his first match since he lost to Roman Reigns. Is that right?
No, he wrestled in December in a tag team match. It was him
Yeah,
and
with
Kevin
Kevin Owens.
Owens against Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Not that prepared, are you, Matt? What you get for picking Austin
Yeah.
Theory?
Hey, you don't know I picked Austin Theory yet.
Oh yeah, I don't know that. Let's see what you picked. Oh.
So
We don't prepare these. This is all candid.
so Hamish, who have you gone for in this match? I wonder.
Unlike you, I've gone for John Cena. I've gone for John Cena.
has to go for John Cena,
Gotta
Okay,
be
the goat.
The champ, Grapple Do.
Teb, I
The
assume you've
champ
done the same.
is
If you,
here. I have rooted for my king, John Cena, and to be honest, we were talking about the whole Yokozuna moment. I hope he does that later on. You know,
You did sway
I
me
hope
on
that
that
John's. Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, the bloodline. So, I'm gonna take this off on a tangent. John Cena stomps Austin Theory. It's 30 minutes of him doing AAs and then doing "You Can't See Me" calls. Like it's a fucking WWE 2K23 game, right? And everyone's gonna fucking love it because it's John Cena and he was left for so long. We realized how great he really was. And then in the main event, Cody Rhodes dies to bloodline intervention. Not loses, dies. Okay, then we sweep him under the rug, and then John Cena comes out. Hey, I don't like that. I challenge you, Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline to a match. Right. At this point, Jay and Jimmy Uso, they've already retained, right? So they're champions. So it's 1v3. John Cena loses for like 35 minutes, and then in the last 5 minutes he does his 6 moves of doom, right? The 6th move being a middle finger to the camera, and then he wins all 4 titles at this point, and then he retires, and then we never see those titles ever again.
Does Reigns
I think
say?
that's the-
Does Reigns say to him, "You're the real ooh-ah now"?
No, he says, "I cannot believe that," as he dies as well. That's the ending. But yeah, I think John Cena's gonna win this match. I go off on too many tangents. I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Austin Theory.
I really
Austin Theory.
want Cena to win, but I feel like with the way they built it, with Cena just absolutely shitting all over Theory on Raw, I think Theory's going to win. And I think the crowd are going to hate it. I think the crowd are going to hate every second of his celebration after the match. He's going to take a selfie over John Cena, who's passed out. I think it's going to be like nuclear heat for him
Thing
for
is
the first
though,
time,
if
because normally people don't care.
if Austin Theory does beat John Cena, it doesn't make anything John Cena said about him untrue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the it's like if Matt Riddle beat Seth Rollins, your wife still left you. Like what are you hoping to gain from this? You
Can
win.
That's still the.
You can win the cage match. Your kids aren't going to come and see you on the weekend, so get better.
Oh man, that's what. Gotta be top 3 promo packages ever just because of that. Because like you had to bring Seth's wife into it, and that's the worst part. Because Matt Riddle brought it to that level, and then Seth was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna fucking say it."
Also,
after that, it's like Matt Riddle's just a loser.
Also, his wife's Becky Lynch. What are you gonna say? Your wife's better than you? Like, yeah, she's pretty good.
Becky
Yeah,
Lynch,
she
of
is.
course she is.
100%.
Have you seen Becky Lynch?
Yeah, of course.
She's the best woman in the wrestling ever, probably.
Literally, I'd love to marry someone like that. She's fucking amazing. But yes, moving on.
Yes.
Instead of
Just-
us simping for Becky Lynch
Just
again.
slip a proposal offer in there. I'm sure she'll hear it.
I think you
moving
did
on
that
to-
last week as well. Didn't Taylor say that like a couple weeks ago as well?
I think in my first one, I sort of told that. My first episode, I definitely told everyone about how much I love Becky Lynch, and
And how far you'd be willing to go to prove it as well.
that got cut out. Yes.
Yeah, I thought I thought we don't want to get you cancelled on your debut. But anyway, moving on to match number 2, and I don't know if you guys have heard the news, but Logan Paul, who's involved in this next match, his contract expires after WrestleMania 39. So I don't know if that will impact your prediction of who's going to win it.
I did hear that news on Atletico.com.
Ah, nice.
Oh, just look at that.
Tell me more.
That was about it, really. His contract's up after WrestleMania.
I meant tell me more about
words.
Atletico.com and all the great content you can find on there.
Yes. Why don't we do a sponsor for ourselves?
It is a website where you get all the latest wrestling news, your AEW, your WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, tangents about random Welsh wrestlers. They're the big 5, really.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of Mark Andrews recent articles on there. So if you're a big fan of Mark Andrews, and I certainly sort of am. Anyway, I'm going for Seth Rollins to win that one. I think regardless
Yes,
of
same.
even if
Yeah.
Logan Paul signs a 10-year contract, I think Seth Rollins has got to win this one. He's after getting absolutely molested by Cody Rhodes 3 times in a row. I think he definitely needs to get a big win.
That's the technical term, yeah.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Like, as cool as it was for Cody Rhodes to wrestle with his pec torn and stuff like that, like, fucking hell, Rollins, come on.
He lost as well,
But
didn't
yeah.
he? He lost to a man with literally one arm.
Hey, man. Sometimes it happens. We need Seth Rollins back in the title picture. I don't care.
So, Tab, are you going for Seth as well? Are you?
I'm going for Seth as well.
Yeah. We're unanimous on this one. I think with the way it's been built as well, Logan Paul seems to keep getting the upper hand on him in the build-up. So it just feels like it's destined for Rollins to win, and he deserves it. Rollins deserves another WrestleMania win.
He really does.
Yeah,
He's had a 4 loss win streak. 4 loss streak now, isn't it? At WrestleMania for Rollins.
That sounds
if he loses this one.
yeah, sounds right.
He beat Brock, didn't he? I was like, what was that? 34, 35, something like that.
35. That was the opening match of 35, wasn't it? Kofi Mania.
And then
Oh yeah, Kofi was WWE champion. Need to watch that too.
what did he do last year? I don't remember at all.
Cody last year.
Oh yeah, of course he did. He lost. What a loser.
Did he lose to Kevin Owens the year before? Is that right?
That does not ring a
I don't know,
bell.
maybe.
That does not ring a bell whatsoever.
Anyway, moving on to the third match, which is Trish Stratus and apparently the women's tag champs Lita and Becky Lynch versus Damage
Somehow.
Control. So, Hamish, you kick us off with who you think's going to win this one.
I've gone for Lita, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch. I don't think Damage Control are gonna do a lot after WrestleMania. They're sort of not being great as a team. They sort of really wasted they had a massive debut
Yeah.
at SummerSlam, but then they sort of wasted them a bit. They kept losing to Bianca Belair. So I think they'll probably give Trish Stratus the win, probably because she's back for one more match again,
Yeah.
and then probably break up Damage Control, have Bayley feud with probably one of them, and then the other one can. I don't really care what they do. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
More Becky Lynch. I want.
No,
Tab, what about you? Who do you think's going to take the win here?
I think it's going to be Damage Control. I feel like they finally need like a win, and I feel like having Lita and Becky Lynch then sort of lose, and then they'll find a reason to lose their titles as well. And I think Damage Control will then use this to sort of break up, because they're going to be like, oh, this is our peak, and then fuck you, Bailey, I'm going to turn on you. I'm Dakota Kai, blah blah blah. And then
She does
boom,
sound exactly
that's
like
gonna
that as well. That's really good.
She does
Yeah.
actually. I think that's my best accent.
That is
for,
as
Bayley and Dakota
as eerily similar as Shawn Michaels was.
Kai. You do not want to hear much more. I could do it again later if you want. Like, I don't know whose turn it is. You know.
I think it's
read
mine,
it,
but you know what? I will miss that accent if it is me. I've also gone Damage Control here. I watched the promo on Raw, and there was something that was sort of hinting that Trish might turn on Lita and Becky, because she was kind of the third wheel in it, because Lita and Becky are tag champs, whereas Trish is kind of just on the edge. I think Miz said a line about how she was sort of the third woman in the team. So I could see there being some sort of clash between Trish and Becky, perhaps, which could set up a match further down the line, because I think that would be really good. A singles match between those two would be awesome. And as you say, I
definitely.
think Damage Control need the win. Then again, I do think they will probably break up soon. But yeah, I can see Damage Control
Yeah.
winning this one.
I mean, I just hope it's a good match, to be honest. I mean, it's a 6-man tag, which is never good. Very rarely good, so, see how it goes.
Yeah,
I did
Hamish had a
enjoy
good
the
rant
one-
about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Check in
6-man
on the-
tag team matches, but the one at Clash at the Castle was fun. The Damage
Was there
Control
one at
again.
Clash of the Castle?
Yeah, it was Damage Control.
Yeah,
That was good.
there was.
Um,
That was good. That was good. That was a good match.
I
Yeah.
mean, everyone just sang for Bayley the whole match. It was great.
We do love Bailey over here in the UK. All right. Okay. Anyway, what's the next match, Matt?
So the next one is a Clash of the Titans. It's Brock Lesnar versus Omos. So Hamish,
Boss.
who have you gone for here?
As a lifelong Homo sapien, I've got to go for the big boy, Omos.
Interesting.
He is.
How do you see
7'4".
this match going? Like, how do you see it playing out?
I think he will simply be too large for Lesnar to lift up. He'll try and get him for the F5, but he can't. And then Omos will do whatever Omos's finisher is.
You don't sound like you have a lot of faith in this match.
I imagine it's probably a chokeslam,
I was going to say it must be
I'd
some
guess.
form of chokeslam.
but I think Omos is simply... It's like the Great Khali. He's just too big. You can't not love him.
Exactly. How will he ever lose the Royal Rumble? He's just so big. How can you take him down? As far as shows go, he's quite a big one.
That's what... Wow. So it's a show of big shows, you could say.
Yeah, one could say it's a show of big people. I've also gone for Omos myself. I am a very proud homosexual, and I feel like he will.
It's the big deal
Get
for the
it?
podcast.
I mean, me and my fellow Omos can kind of agree that he's probably the best wrestler in the whole company, because he's really big. How can anyone beat a guy who's as big as Omos? You know,
If you think of
in
wrestling...
every way, shape, or form.
Think in WWE history, who are the best wrestlers? Number 1, the Big
biggest
Show.
one.
Number 2, the
The
Great
Big
Khali.
Show.
Number 3,
Number three.
Omos. Number 4, Andre the Giant. They're the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Of course. And then number 1 is Omos again. Can you believe it?
None of these vanilla
I
midgets.
can.
None of these vanilla midgets
Because
like Brock
Omos
Lesnar.
is so big. Exactly.
It's
Lesnar should do his own WLC after this, because of how small he is compared to our
How
god
tiny,
Omos.
how tiny and insignificant he is.
Exactly.
So I've actually gone for Brock in this one. Yeah. I just, Omos is a big boy, obviously, but Brock's a wide boy, so I reckon.
Oh shit!
I reckon.
Yeah, that's
I reckon the
actually quite true.
wideness will beat the tallness.
So you'll go
'Cause
for
Omos is-
horizontal or vertical.
Yeah, it's kind of like a rhino fighting a giraffe. Like, yeah, the giraffe's got the height advantage, but the rhino's a rhino, so
Yeah.
not the rhino.
just-
I think he's retired.
Yeah. And just like WWE, let's just brush past this very quickly and talk about Bianca Belair versus Asuka, a match that will probably be very good, but has had no build-up whatsoever.
Yeah, the build for both women's title matches has been absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, it's been fairly non-existent, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, Rhea won the Rumble. Let's just stick with Charlotte. Why not? Which means, look, that I guess Asuka now has to face Bianca. So, it's not been much of a build-up, but Bianca and Asuka are both so good that it has to at least
definitely.
be a good match. There's no way it'll only be a bad match if it's cut short for some weird reason or if there's an injury, because they're too good to not have a good match. So I'm excited for it either way.
Asuka is. I would say Asuka is probably the best women's wrestler in WWE history ever.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That's an interesting shout. I don't
ever?
dislike it.
Like
I
ring,
would kind of. I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
like in ring only, she's probably the best. Character wise, she's up there with like Becky Lynch. I'd say. They're big two.
Yeah.
Her and Becky.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, no,
Saying that-
I don't dislike that call. Who have you guys gone for? So Teb, what about you?
I've gone for Bianca Belair
Okay.
personally. I think she's definitely going to retain, and I think
Definitely.
she'll.
Interesting.
Yeah, 60% sure she's going to retain.
Okay.
I think 40% sure she's going to do it. That's why I think Asuka would win. No, I'm joking. I think Bianca Belair is going to win.
Okay.
Just because I like Bianca Belair. I think she's cool.
You in agreement, Hamish?
Yeah, despite saying that Asuka was the best ever, I've also gone for Bianca Belair.
See, I've gone for Asuka. I just
Have you?
yeah, she's got a sort of a new look and a new theme and a new the whole package has changed in the last few months. So I think they might use that as a reset for her and give her a proper title run.
You know
I
what
also
I don't
think Bianca's
like?
been champ for so long.
You know what I don't like about Bianca Belair?
Mm-hmm.
I
Go
don't.
on.
You shouldn't be allowed to use your hair as a weapon.
What do you mean?
She hits people with her hair.
But why aren't you allowed to use it?
I think it's not in the spirit of the rules. I think gamesmanship comes into play here. I think if you were to,
Gamesmanship.
yeah,
This is life or death.
is it life or death?
I mean, for these guys in kayfabe, it is. You have to understand. This is their livelihood. Like they'll probably die or something. Like AJ Styles died, and he didn't pay enough attention. So I'm actually for it. I think it's kind of cool that Bianca Belair uses it like that because no one else has thought of it anyway.
I think if you can't pull hair, then hair can't be used against you.
Can you not pull hair? Is that against the rules?
No, pulling hair, you get a 5 count if you pull hair.
Yeah, but quit being a fucking square, Hamish.
Yeah,
okay.
shut up.
Why don't you just
With
enjoy
facts
what's
and logic.
going on?
Facts don't care about your feelings, Tab.
Yes, they do. Feelings are more important than facts. Everybody knows this.
Shit.
I do agree with you though, because was it her match with Sasha? She actually left like a giant scar on her stomach from hitting her with her hair. Surely there's that's got to be breaching some sort of rule.
Okay, in that case, it kind of sucks. But yeah.
It was a cool
As
spot.
soon as Matt says it, Tab, you're right on board.
Do you want to know why? Because I like him better than you. Why didn't you realize that after
then
all
why-
this time?
Then why didn't you go to his birthday party as a child?
You know what? It's just to build character.
Yeah,
if
I needed
didn't
that.
go to his, if I did go to his birthday parties, would we be friends now? No, because now I wouldn't go to his birthday parties.
Because now he's desperate enough to be your friend now. He'd never look at you
Exactly.
with a
Now I have no friends but Matt and you. Okay. Do you want me to say it?
All I
Okay,
ever wanted
before
you
we
to say.
veer too much. Exactly. It's too desperate for it, and so am I.
So moving on
Speaking of
to
women-
moving on to
Yeah,
the
sorry,
next
you go.
women's championship match. It's Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, the winner of the most recent Royal Rumble. I will kick off by saying I've gone for Rhea Ripley because surely she's going to win.
Yeah, I got
Are
the
you-
same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought that'd be fairly unanimous, considering Rhea lost to Charlotte at the cursed WrestleMania. It feels like she kind of has to beat her now, particularly in front of a big crowd.
Exactly. Everyone wants Mommy Rhea to win.
She's also like the biggest women's wrestler in WWE at the moment in terms of her build, the way she's leading a faction that's, it's got Finn Balor's a former world champion in it, and yet she's the face of that faction. The faction that
Yeah.
kicked out Edge, the Hall of Famer wrestling legend. So I think she absolutely has to win, even though Charlotte is woman reigns. She still has to. It has to be Rhea this time.
Charlotte has to
Yeah,
use
no.
it so Charlotte can keep winning it back to break Ric Flair's record.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
exactly.
How far off that record is
Woo.
she now? She
I
on
think
12?
At 12, isn't she?
About 43, I think, she on the moment.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
see, I
Yeah.
see. Right, okay, let's move on to the next one. The main event of night one, actually, is the Usos, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, versus the Team Friendship, as I like to call them, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, for the WWE Tag Team Championships. First time in a long fucking time, that the Tag Team Championships have been the main event of WrestleMania. Can you both tell me when the last time this was?
I don't believe the tag titles have ever main event of WrestleMania.
I believe they have?
WrestleMania 1 had a tag team match, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against...
That's what I
Paul-
meant, actually.
That
Oh,
wasn't
you mean,
for
you
the
mean the
title.
last one tag match? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was unclear. Again,
Well, to
misinforming
answer-
people.
To answer your question, was it WrestleMania 1 where it was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff with the ace Cowboy Bob Orton at ringside?
It indeed was. That is when the last time there was a tag team match as the main event. So this is already making history for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, as they always have whilst they've been here. My mic's gone quiet.
So
It
I
is a
take
good
it. I take it we've all gone for Sammy and KO, but I'm going to allow you guys to say who you've gone for.
Sami and KO.
Yeah, I've all gone for Sammy and Kevin Owens. I think this is the match I'm probably most excited for, I'd say, apart from the main event.
Yeah.
Just,
Me too.
The
I
true
think
main
it's going to be
event.
really fucking good.
I know Sammy and Kevin were a tag team before on SmackDown, but when they were heels, they were a lot less fun to watch. But now they're like good guys. They can actually, and they both seem like much bigger stars now as well. It seems like
Yeah.
And they have such a good storyline going into it, really. So that really helps.
it feels like when you see like Batista and Rey Mysterio team, like the two massive stars being a tag team, it's like a really big deal. And the-
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
The Usos have been champions for like 2 years now, something stupid.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do appreciate the long tag title reigns, to be honest, just because it makes it even more monumental, like, if it was to change, like tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not tonight, on the first night. Of
Yeah, I
Mania.
think it's better to have that. It's a bigger moment than if you just like playing hot potato with the titles,
100%.
or having them change hands on a random Raw that no one watches. It really makes the titles feel bigger when they change hands at WrestleMania or even like one of the big fall pay-per-views. It establishes
Yeah.
it more as something that's relevant, and I'm really excited for this match. As you said, Hamish, I think it's going to be certainly the best match of night one. Maybe could end up being the best match of the whole card potentially, depending what happens in
Very
night
hard
two.
to sell, I think. But yeah, 100%.
So I'm
Speaking of night two, so sorry, you go. I interrupted you.
That's cool. So yeah, moving on to night two with the Intercontinental Triple Threat match. It's Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. So Hamish, who have you got in this one, and why?
I've gone for Gunther to lose because I think if there's any time to lose his title,
Mm.
it's WrestleMania.
Yeah, no,
And I do think they're going to want to move on, have him feud with Cody Rhodes. Assuming Cody Rhodes wins in the main event. They had a really good show in the Royal Rumble as their last two.
Mm.
I think a title feud, maybe at SummerSlam or something around there,
Okay.
for the WWE title between Cody and Gunther would be good. And for that, you want to get the title off him. And here, I've gone for Sheamus to win. I think have Sheamus pin Drew. So don't have Gunther lose. But then Sheamus
Yeah, I like
then
that.
gets his title. He's a Grand Slam champion apart from the Intercontinental title. This was
Has
all
he not
wrapped
been
his
Intercontinental
career
champion?
Oh, Sheamus.
I think he's been everything else. Like he's won Money in the Bank, he's won King of the Ring, the Rumble, all the titles apart from Intercontinental. That's why he won today, Clash of the Castle as well. Yeah, I remember now.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
you're
wow.
right. You are right. Yeah, it's hard to believe he's not won it because, as you say, it feels like he's
I really thought.
just ticked every box.
Damn. I mean, I put Drew down, and I thought my finish was identical to yours, apart from like Drew pinning Sheamus. But
Yeah.
that's also a good consideration, isn't it?
So I'm happy to say that I've gone with Gunther. So the three of us have picked three different answers in this one.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think he'll pin Sheamus. But I can really see this going anyway. As you say, I think taking the title off Gunther will allow him to focus on bigger feuds. I can definitely see a Gunther versus Brock feud at some point, maybe at SummerSlam. And
I think so, definitely.
I think a win for Gunther over Brock at SummerSlam will be what propels him to a main event feud, maybe sort of Rumble, Mania 40 time. I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it quite as soon as SummerSlam, but yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from with that. I don't think he's that. Is he? How far off the record is he now?
I don't know, to be honest. I think he's the second now. I think he's second highest ever, isn't he?
Second highest ever for what?
Like longest reigning IC champion.
Oh. Yeah, see, another title that's been there for so long, and it's going to be even more significant if it changes hands.
Yeah.
He's quite a bit off the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, I think in like modern era WWE, he's close to the record.
Yeah, he's the second longest after the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh
He's
wow,
on
yeah.
He'd be on
Wow.
about 300 days come WrestleMania. Honky Tonk Man is 454.
I see. Well, I mean, there is room for him to get it, but I don't know. I mean, I think having it for this long is still very significant.
Definitely.
And honestly, this might be the best match of WrestleMania. If you consider the wrestlers in it. It's Sheamus,
Yeah.
Gunther, and Drew. It might be really fucking good.
I'm very
Who
hyped
knows?
for this match. Particularly, I can see this kicking off night 2. Really, starting off hot. It's what they've done in previous years, where they had Seth beat Brock in the opening match of Mania 35. I think it's a really good idea to get the crowd going at the very beginning, because the mistake last year, I may be wrong with this, but I'm fairly certain that the opening match of night 2 last year was the Bray Orton match we mentioned earlier, and that it kicked off the show in a pretty bad way for me.
I agree, and I can trust those three to sort of move on. Two people a match I don't think is going to be very good is up next, which is Edge versus the Demon Finn Balor. To be quite honest with you,
Are you not?
Really?
You're not feeling this one? I'm quite excited for this one.
I don't know. I just feel like the feud and stuff is just like eh. It was like they're just kind of bullying this old man, and Edge is kind of like, stop it, you kids, and they're like, no, fuck you.
Get off
That's
my
the
lawn.
vibe I get. It's just I don't know. I feel like they're both good wrestlers, but we've yet to see some good chemistry. I think the Rey Mysterio, when Edge was with Rey Mysterio and they fought the Judgment Day, I thought it was okay, but mainly because it was Rey Mysterio, and obviously I saw Edge do a spear live, which was badass. But I think it's not going to be as good as the other matches. I think it has to really, really overperform, because I think every other match on this card, the men's matches anyway, apart from like the tag team Street Profits one, all have amazing builds into it, and they really need to pull some crazy shit out of their asses to do something good.
I think you mentioned.
So I've gone for Finn.
You mentioned then the Clash
Sorry.
of the Clash of the Castle tag team match, and that just shows how long this feud has been going on.
Hmm.
Like it was past it at Clash of the Castle, and that was
Yeah.
6 months ago.
Yeah, and Edge had been booted out of Judgment Day prior to that, so it'd been going on even a fair way before that as well. So it's
Exactly right.
I'm
I think
hoping
it'll
this
be
is
a
the
good
final
match.
match. Yeah. The fact it's a Hell in a Cell match and it's the Demon Finn Balor, I think they've got to be prepared to do something pretty significant in this one. But with that in mind, with it being the Demon Finn Balor, I've actually gone for Finn Balor to win this match.
Same, definitely.
Okay.
Well, I didn't actually think about that, so I've gone for Edge. I thought I think Edge is, if he's gone on so long being bullied by these bunch of goths that if he loses now, how stupid does he look?
Yeah, that's true. But then again, it's the demon, so maybe the demon will redeem himself.
What the fuck is the demon? I'm sorry. Like, what does this mean?
If-
If he is the demon, if he's not the demon, that means he's not trying. So why would he not be the demon every single time?
Because
On this episode's of Wrestling Gripes.
because body paint takes too long to put on. That's why.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, moving on. I think mainly just due to time constraints.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
this point, this has been a long ass episode. What's the next match? Sorry.
We've got the two most pointless matches on the card. Sorry for anyone that may offend, but I am right. It's the two fatal 4-way tag team matches. So we'll kick things off with the women's one. It's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Who have you guys gone for? I don't need to ask why.
I don't fucking know.
Whatever team.
Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez.
I've gone for Natalia.
Okay. I've gone for Ronda. That's the end of that one. Moving on. Braun and Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. Who have you gone for? And again, I don't need to know why.
Street Profits.
Okay, cool.
I've gone for Street Profits.
I've gone for Ricochet.
I've also gone for Ricochet. And now moving on to matches that actually matter. We've got
Oh,
Rey
thank God.
Mysterio versus his son Dominic Mysterio. And I'm actually looking forward to this. I think this will be good.
I mean, I love seeing children get beat by their fathers, you know.
Hmm.
So I went for Ray in this one. I feel like this build-up has been quite underrated by us anyway, because it's been Dominic's been so fucking annoying, to be honest. Sorry, something stuck in my throat.
See, I think it's going to go the other way. I think Dominic is going to win, and I think he's going to get the most nuclear heat, because I can see him not only beating Ray, but humiliating him by wearing his mask.
No way.
I think
that's
he's going to
a
come out on
fucking
Raw
great
the
idea,
next
actually.
Raw the next night wearing Ray's mask, and he's going to keep doing that every week. And I think it will really propel him as like the most loathed heel on the roster, because they've got the opportunity to do that with him. So I reckon that's the way it's going to go. Hamish, what do you think?
Well, I saw, was it on Raw or SmackDown this week? He did a promo and he said, "I wish Eddie Guerrero was my real father." So I'm hoping.
Oh, setting up a return.
Could it be? It's former WWE Tag Team Champion Eddie Guerrero, same as
He beat Brock
Chavo
Lesnar
Guerrero. But I think he might like come out with Eddie's music in a car.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Oh, please, yeah,
Actually,
that'd be so good.
Hopefully,
That would be so cool.
don't be the old, the classic Eddie's in hell like Randy Orton did back in the day. But
Oh my god. Hey, not Randy Orton. It was fucking Batista.
it was Randy Orton.
Oh, wait, what?
Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, that was
Was it
really-
Batista who said Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell?
Nope, still Randy Orton.
Fuck right off.
It was Kid. It was Kid Cudi. Cutie? Was it Kid Cudi? I'm old.
Oh, no, never mind. You're right. You're completely right. It's Randy
Yeah.
Orton. Sorry,
Cool.
my bad.
That's why I said it 3 times.
You did, but I didn't believe you until I
Yeah.
googled another source because I thought you were an idiot. But
Well-
it turns out I was the moron the whole time. Honk honk. That's my clown noise because I'm a clown.
With that, I've gone for Dominic Guerrero.
Nice.
Tony Guerrero.
Oh,
my God.
that's what he should do. He should wear Ray's
Oh.
mask after this match,
And
But-
marry Vicky.
but call himself Dominic Guerrero.
After
Oh man.
he
I saw
marries
a
Vicky
tweet from Vicky
Guerrero
saying
and,
that-
and becomes his own father.
there's a tweet by Vicky Guerrero saying that she really wanted to be a part of this, which is so sad because it would have been funny as fuck to have her there too.
Is
But
she
I
still
feel
in
like-
that thing with Nyla Rose? Are they still doing that?
I don't know, probably.
Yeah,
That's what people on Reddit
By
are saying.
that thing with Nyla Rose, do you mean AEW?
No,
Yeah.
as in,
Did
you
you-
know, are her and Nyla Rose still aligned in AEW? Or have they,
I don't
they scrapped
know.
that?
I've not seen Nyla. I only watched Dynamite. I've not seen Nyla Rose in about 3 years. So
Ah, that's fair.
But anyways, that is a match that I think will be really fun to watch. To be honest, just in general, and I'm really kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. So now, moving on to the main event. It is Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, which is probably the best nickname for any wrestler ever, I'm going to say that, versus Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the big dog. Acknowledge him. Everyone point to your ceilings right now. Who do you boys think's going to win?
Ooh, Cody Rhodes.
Do you think?
I think it's got to be the roller coaster.
The roller coaster.
Yeah, I agree. I think WrestleMania is the perfect time to end this 7,000-day Roman Reigns reign, and particularly because we've all gone for the Usos to drop their tag titles. I can see WrestleMania 39 being the implosion of the bloodline, where the Usos lose the titles in the main event of night 1, Reigns loses his in the main event of night 2.
Yeah, definitely.
And then,
I mean, I went for... So sorry, you go.
I was going to say, and then they can go their separate ways. It moves the title onto Cody. I'd like to think they then ditch the Universal belt, because it's shit, and bring back the big gold belt, which they were talking about doing. I think Vince rejected the idea, but now Vince hopefully isn't in control. They may see this as an excuse to bring back a belt that actually looks nice. So that's what I think.
I like the blue belt personally,
What?
but fair enough. I do, yeah. I think it looks
I
different.
mean, it's better than the red belt, but I mean, all the titles look the same, and it's a bit lame. Whereas if you look back,
Yeah, no, I get that. To
Yeah.
be fair, that the titles look the same. That's a pretty good criticism of it. I mean, just belts. I just think it's nice. But I think the match is going to be probably one of the best matches we'll ever see. Like, genuinely, I think Cody Rhodes is fucking amazing. I think Roman Reigns is fucking amazing. I think if we have the Usos also lose their belts and not be part of it, we'll have a Roman Reigns match with no interference, with maybe just Solo in it. But I'm really excited for this. I put Roman just because to be a bit contrarian, to be honest, and have something else to say. And I think 1,000 days would be pretty interesting for his reign to be. Like, imagine 1,000-day Roman, and then he kind of loses it to Jey Uso.
Yeah, I was going to say that was going to be my question. If you think Roman's going to win, who do you think he'd drop it to? But you said Jey Uso.
Jey.
Do you actually think that's what they do?
Yeah, I think the bloodline has to end, and I feel like Jey Uso's the one who started it, mainly because I think the Hell in a Cell, the I Quit match is probably... I don't know, I keep going back to that because I think that's probably the best ending to a match ever, and I feel like that started off this whole thing.
I think that's my favourite
bloodline.
Roman Reigns singles match, I would say.
It's just really sad towards the end, man. Fuck. Like, I have a brother, and that really hit hard, funnily enough. Like, watching him choke out his own brother and be like, I quit because of that. And I think Jey probably never forgot that, and I feel like I think there's going to be a Jey versus Roman match in the future anyway, just to end the bloodline, whether it involves a title or not. I think I think it works either way, just to smash the bloodline no matter what. But yeah, that's my contrarian reason of having Roman Reigns be the winner.
Tab's got that universe mode booking Jey run as a singles main event champion.
It could work. He's a good wrestler. Like, I don't see why it couldn't work.
I feel bad for Jimmy. He's exactly the same. He's like, no, you're not getting pushed. I'm the same as Jey. Yeah, sex, isn't it?
Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you, Jimmy.
When I say oos, you say oh. But I want a singles run. Oos.
Oh.
Who's painful silence. Before we move on to the next segment, I just want to ask you guys, first of all, what do you think of this card as a whole compared to previous years?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually super hyped for loads of the matches, apart from even honestly the women's sort of singles matches, mainly because I think they'll be good matches due to the quality of the wrestling. Apart from the two matches that you said were irrelevant, which I agree with. I'm really excited, and also maybe Omos versus Brock. I'm not really an homosexual.
I'm really excited for Brock against Omos. I think it's gonna be so different to all of the matches.
It kind of is. Yeah, you're right.
I suppose someone's got to be excited for it, right?
I feel like
it's always Hamish, isn't it?
Brock Lesnar.
Hamish and Vince are the only two people.
Brock Lesnar is going to do like a Hurricane Rana or something stupid.
Do you reckon he's going to redeem himself with the shooting star press finally?
But he's going to do it from the roof to reach Omos.
Oh, yeah.
Almost is like a titan, isn't he? Oh wait, no, you guys haven't seen it.
What, sorry?
By the way, an hour and 8 minutes.
I was going to say.
That's a new record. That's the longest I've gone.
That is, yeah. Last week it was only about 7.5 minutes before your first anime reference.
I know, right? Some people say 7.5 minutes is a long time, but you know. Anyways,
The only other
On
thing
to-
I wanted to ask you guys as well was, so this is I believe, the fourth Mania.
39th
yeah.
map.
Four-
39th.
Fourth Mania since they switched to 2 nights. So do you guys prefer the 2 night, or would you rather it go back to 1?
I prefer the 2 nights. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like having 2 more packed shows rather than just. Like, I remember WrestleMania 31 being so fucking long, right? Because it had just so many matches, and like they were good. It was a good WrestleMania, but like, it's better to have 5 matches. Like Clash of the Castle was like 5 matches, 6 matches, right? But it was a tight show, and it was really fun to watch, like every single one. And the crowd doesn't get tired. You don't get tired watching it. I think 2 nights is great. And you know, contrary to what Hamish thinks, I think having 2 main events is a good thing. And I feel like night 1 is actually a main event because people do go
Coward.
home after watching that. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it gives more wrestlers more opportunities as well.
I think a night 1 main
What about you
event
guys?
is an absolute farce, but I prefer the 2 shorter nights to the 1 ridiculously long night.
Yeah.
I prefer like a 1 night, 3-hour show. Like WrestleMania 30, there were like 6 or 7 matches. We all got time, and they were all important. And there was nobody on the card that didn't deserve to be there. You know what? If you didn't make the card, do better next year. I think getting everyone on the card every year is just... It's a participation trophy. Except for Madcap
Mhm.
Moss, who is the king.
Yeah, I agree. If I had to rank them, I would say like a 1 4-hour pay-per-view is the best. Then the two nights with like 3 hours, and then there's a significant drop to the like 8-hour shows they were doing before, because they're exhausting.
Yeah.
They are truly exhausting to watch anything for that long,
Mm-hmm.
to do anything for that long.
But it's light outside when you finish, and like, well, I've got to sleep now. I've got work in half an hour.
Anyways, that is our Mania segment finished. I feel we've talked quite a lot about it actually. It's an hour 11 minutes, and we haven't even touched on the old other segments we
Well,
got.
that was a really fun segment. I mean, listen to all your thoughts. I mean, I could say that I got goosebumps.
Wahey!
So smooth.
That's what
So
where I
that
would,
was
that's
that
why I
was a
would
smooth
put
segue.
a theme song if I had one. So
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du. That's the new theme song for Goosebumps.
I love it.
I'll
Do it
allow
every
it.
week.
I
So this
will.
is-
I'll play it, record it, and then we'll blast it every single time.
This
And
is-
until my mic gets fixed and I don't sound as quiet, right? Then you'll just hear that as like a jump scare.
so this I think this
But
is
anyways,
the 4th week we've done everyone's favourite game. I got goosebumps.
I hate this game.
Where I'll give you three wrestlers, 4 clues each, and you have to guess who the wrestler is. Guess it in the first clue, you get 4 points, and then 3 points, 2 points, 1 point as you get more and more clues. Is everyone aware of the rules?
I am indeed.
I am painfully aware of the rules.
Okay, so Teab, when you got the answer, I want you to shout out John Cena. And Matt,
John Cena.
you
John
shout
Cena,
out
got it.
Austin Theory.
Okay.
Okay, so are you ready for the first clue in I Got Goosebumps?
Yes, Daddy.
I was born ready.
Oh, don't call me Daddy.
Oh.
That was my father's name. Call me Mr. Woodward. Okay, clue 1. I debuted in the WWE in 2012 in Indianapolis.
Austin Theory. Is it Roman Reigns?
Incorrect.
John Cena.
Yep,
Is it Dean Ambrose?
it is Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I gave you the assist on that one.
I was gonna say Roman Reigns, and then you did it. I was like, wait a second.
Fair play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the name of the city would throw you off a little bit. For 2012, I think there were quite a few debuts then. You would have. Anyway, the next clue you would have got it. I'm a former US champion.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Then there was
100%.
I wrestled Baron Corbin on a WrestleMania pre-show.
God,
Did he?
God, I completely
I-
forgot about that.
My last WWE match was against Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre.
God damn.
So
See, it was
terrible.
easier from the first clue that gave us nothing than it was from all the others.
Yeah.
The easiest clue was
So-
me basically giving Tayab the answer by saying the wrong
Excuse
shield,
me.
shield member.
I knew I was guessing shield members already. Okay.
yeah.
So Tab's once again gone into a 4-0 victory, 4-0 lead.
I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so number 2, I defeated Yoshitatsu on my debut in WWE.
Austin Theory, Kofi Kingston.
Incorrect.
Fuck. I was really confident then as well.
John Cena, Brad Maddox.
No, but a fun guess. Number 2 for 3 points on the line. I trained to wrestle in Canada alongside Natalia and Tyson Kidd.
John Cena. Oh fuck. Sorry. Never mind. Disregard what I'm saying.
No, you can't. You gotta have a guess.
I was gonna say Tyson Kidd, but you already said Tyson Kidd. Fuck. Cesaro?
No.
Okay, I was wrong.
Austin Theory, is it D.H. Smith?
No, it is not. But that is who I was trying to get you to guess.
Oh, was it?
Okay, number 3. My first WrestleMania match was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
who
Doesn't make it easy.
who did Tayab guess in the last one?
Brad Maddox
Cesaro.
and Cesaro.
Brad Maddox and Cesaro.
Okay.
Brad Maddox was in that match.
Hmm.
Just look at that. Oh fuck. Who was? John Cena.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger.
No, but a good guess.
That was a not bad guess, yeah.
God damn.
Who did Matt guess?
I haven't guessed yet, so
Oh,
I'll go with Sheamus.
No, that's not even close to being correct.
Ah, the fucking silence. I thought, you got it.
And the final clue for 1 point. My last match before being released by the WWE was a loss to El Torito.
John Cena. Hornswoggle.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
Is it Jinder Mahal?
It is Jinder Mahal.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Fair play.
He's,
Oh,
as we know,
I was thinking because he's born in
Canadian.
Canada, isn't he? So
He's Canadian. His first WrestleMania match was the WrestleMania 30 Battle Royal,
God damn.
and he was part of that. They did a 3MB and Hornswoggle against the what are they called? El Torito and the Bullfighters.
Primo and Epico, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
Terbis, you're 4-1 up again. That's the
Yeah, hopefully I don't fuck it up by Matt guessing it, like, in the next one.
Okay. Number
Forgot Jinder
3,
existed.
sudden death, but not really. Okay,
Mhm.
clue 1. I faced Umaga in my last. Sorry, yeah, I faced Umaga in his last wrestling match.
Did you say that? Can you say that again? In his last WrestleMania match, do you say?
I faced Umaga in his last ever wrestling match.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wrestling match, okay.
So his last match before he died.
John Cena?
Yep.
Jeff Hardy?
Incorrect.
Okay. Umaga's last match. Fucking hell. Who could it even be?
That is the name of the game.
Just trying to think. So I think it was. That is a good question. I'll just throw a name out. Vladimir Kozlov.
A
Why
good
not?
guess, but it's incorrect.
Thank God.
Okay, number 2. I won a world championship, but not in WWE. So I won a world championship outside WWE, but not inside it.
Okay.
Austin Theory. I'm only saying this because I watched WrestleMania 23 earlier, and it got me annoyed because he didn't win.
It's gonna be him. It's gonna be him.
Is it Mr. Kennedy?
Unfortunately for Teab, it
Oh,
is
thanks.
Mr. Kennedy.
Oh,
Come
God
on.
damn it.
I was thinking he was still in WWE then, and then he left and won the the TNA title.
Oh,
So I watched his
man.
promo earlier where he did that amazing Triple H impression.
That was good. Yeah, so
Yeah, he nailed that.
that's 4-4 currently. That is my. The last clue was I was
Exactly.
the first Money in the
It's
Bank
literally
winner.
like facing Cena, isn't it? Fuck
I was the first Money in the Bank winner to not win the world title. And
Yeah.
the clue,
Uh-huh.
which was going to get you the sudden death point now, is my last WWE match saw my team dressed as the LA Lakers taking on a team of wrestlers dressed as the Denver Nuggets. So,
Did it?
sudden death. Teab,
Okay.
you have 4 guesses.
Okay.
No, wait. Right. He had four
What?
teammates on his team for that match. It's a 5-on-5 tag team match.
Right.
How many can you name, Tim?
So who's the first teammate? Sorry, Mr. Kennedy, is it?
Mr. Kennedy it was himself.
Right. JBL.
You can give you 4, and then Matt can give us 4.
Okay, fine. Fuck. I gotta think.
I'll give you the match.
JBL.
The match was on the 25th of May, 2009.
25th of May 2009. Okay. Ah, shit. I'm gonna fuck this up, but it's fine. JBL. John Cena. Batista. Ah, fuck. JBL, John Cena, Batista. I got one more. Fuck it, Matt Hardy.
And Matt, who are your
Yes.
4 picks?
Christ. Okay. So when was it? Late 2009.
It was the 25th of May, 2009.
25th of May. Okay. Did you say what show it was on? You didn't, did you?
It was on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
I'm not sure
Cena.
that would have helped Tab at all, but if he challenges it,
Oh.
I have no.
I'll go with Cena as well. Tab, you said Cena, didn't you?
I said Cena, JBL, Batista, and Matt Hardy.
Okay, so it's not JBL because he'd already retired at that point. And Matt
Fuck.
Hardy would have been on SmackDown at that point, I believe. So it's not going to be him. But yeah,
Well,
I
they
think
dra-
Cena. I think Cena's Cena sounds good. MVP, Mark Henry, and let's think. Raw 2009. God, Kane.
Matt, you got 2 of them correct.
Mhm.
And Teab, you
Right.
got 2 of them correct.
Fuck right off.
The team was Mr. Kennedy teamed with John Cena,
Oh my god.
Batista,
Oh wow!
MVP,
Oh, it was MVP. So.
Oh my god.
and
That's a good guess.
Jerry Lawler.
Oh, what?
So you
Who would have guessed? My god. Did you plan for something like this?
there were 5 members of the other team. Teab, name them.
Fuck. Right. Okay. Five members of the other team. So obviously SmackDown is Raw. Big Show. Kurt Angle. Undertaker. Just to clarify. Fuck. I need to rack my brain here.
Do you want Big
Shawn Michaels.
Big Show?
It's quite a
Kurt-
stacked team, actually. This is.
So you want Big
Now
Show?
that I think of it,
Kurt Angle, the
Big
Undertaker,
Show-
and Shawn Michaels.
this is just my WWE Universe mode, isn't it?
Yeah. Got one more name to pick.
Right. Maybe a mid carder, don't I? John Morrison.
Okay, Matt, your turn to pick.
Joe Morrison's a really good shout actually, but I'm not
Thanks.
gonna use that one.
Got like 10 chins,
I-
palpable.
I will go Big Show. I'll say Big Show, Edge, The Miz, Shelton Benjamin,
Shelton Benjamin. What a guess.
and it's probably wrong, but and Yoshitatsu.
Despite all the odds, Matt has stolen it at the death 2-1.
No way. Who was
Fuck
right?
off.
The team was Cody Rhodes,
Oh wow.
Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase Jr., and then The Big Show, The Miz.
Ah.
Oh, I was thinking about the Miz as well. Fuck's
So,
sake.
And once again,
Another L.
Tayab has fallen.
That truly is the tribal chief of Goosebumps.
Ooh ah.
That's what, 4 in a row for Matt, 5 in a row?
It is. One day I'll break the streak.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Ta-
wait till it gets to 22.
Tayab, get good, scrub.
I will get good, Dad. At some point.
I think
Now,
Matt,
boys,
I think
do you
Matt-
want to read? Do you?
for
say?
Matt said he's going to host it next week, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you guys are
So,
okay with that.
It'll be me against
Uh-huh.
Tayab. You might get a win.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah. It should be interesting.
Right. Okay. Now, boys, it's been a long episode. Do you want to go for the fan fiction, or do you want to just leave it there?
It's your call. You're leading this podcast.
I am leading this podcast actually. You know what? It's been a long episode. We've talked a lot. I haven't eaten all day. We'll leave it there for now.
That sounds
Thank
like
very
a you
much
problem to me, not eating.
But no. Okay. You know what? We will leave it there, just so I don't have to talk to your bitch ass anymore. Anyways, thank you for listening so much to the Electrifa podcast. This was a really fun one, really dense one with lots of WrestleMania discussion, and hopefully we'll see you next week so we can discuss what happened afterwards. Thank you very much.
Glad you're not taking the loss to heart.
Sweet. I have hit